Hey friends, welcome back to another video, and if you're new, hi. This is the first video that is based on a book, and the first book is this one, Yes to Life in Spite of Everything. So I read this book in lockdown. I was in another transition phase in my life, which I'm still in, and basically I was following some women that I wanted to look like them after 5 years, and I started to search what books do they read, and I bought a bunch of them. And the first one that I read was this. Some books are written for people in certain situations, and as I understood, this one talks towards people who are thinking about suicide or are unmotivated. And I wasn't thinking about suicide, but I was unmotivated, which I think it's a normal thing that happened to everyone in quarantine. I wanted to shape myself into the woman I desired to be. I wanted to know how that woman would think, or how was her mindset. And I realized that books play a big role in our mindset, especially for me. I am a sensitive person, and I have accepted it just recently because now I know it's not a weakness, it's actually my superpower, because I can be easily touched by people's energies, mindset, and emotions. And I was thinking, what would happen if I surrounded myself with people who I wanted to look like? People who will lift me up and teach me how to release and let go. So I just wanted to say that in transitional phases, read books. Okay, in this one you are gonna find the three main meanings and values of our life. People find the meaning of life in different aspects, and I think knowing those different aspects lets you know that if you only have one of them, then your life is meaningful and valued. That meaning can be different throughout your life and different stages of life. For example, in your 20s it might be art, and in your 30s it might be your child. And this is our power to transition in different stages of life with meaning. And I think it's a very beautiful thing to look for meaning and search for it. I know it can be a little bit frustrating, but it's really fun, I think. And if you're in a stage of your life that you want to do something that it's not out there, and you think, well, okay, it's not out there, then I can't or I shouldn't do that, that's not true. Because guess what? Everything depends on each individual, regardless of how small a number of like-minded people are out there. And everything depends on each human being. And by taking action and not just words, embodying and living his or her reality, showing up every day as the person that you want to look like and you desire to be. And I was searching for happiness, and I found out that happiness is not something to be searched for, it's an outcome. We hear this a lot: go out there and make or create your own happiness, and that is so true. In my case, I was waiting for someone else to come and make me happy, rather than I say, oh, this makes me happy, so let's do it. So you see, it's the outcome. Now let's move to the part of the book that will change your life for good. We are so used to ask life, hello, what are you? What do you have for me? But in reality, the right question is the one that life asks us. Rather than what can I expect from life, ask what life expects of me. We all want our life to be by default happy, rich, and successful, but that's not how it works. We are here to be asked, so we need to ask ourselves, how can I be happy, rich, and successful? Because you're gonna get what you move towards and take action and focus on it. And the meaning of life is not just those three, and they are the outcome. So let me explain. When I find the meaning of my life in helping our planet, then I ask for money from the universe to help me spread my love and my energy for this purpose and this meaning of my life to other people and to the whole world. So you see, it's the outcome and it's not the meaning of living. Fun fact, this meaning of life changes continually from hour to hour. More importantly, from person to person. This question that life asks us needs to be answered with responsibility. So this is where the shift starts. So with this mental perspective, nothing can scare you anymore. No future, because you simply live in the moment. You don't know what the next moment, hour, or second is going to bring you. Your answer might be the art you create, or the hug you give someone you love, or a task that you complete at work. And it doesn't matter what your job is, but how you feel your circle, that's what matters. And I think there is a balance between living in the moment and thinking about future. If we just live in the moment, then maybe a situation will come up in the future for us that challenges us in a way that we wish we had plans for this kind of situation. Or working so hard for your future self and your future plans that you forget that this is the moment I'm living in. In this video, I talked about the ways that I change negative thoughts to positive ones. And why I mention this, because it is related to living in the moment. For me, I get so stuck in my past memories, and I need to remind myself of letting go and living in the present moment. And I have made progress. I am so proud of myself, and I am sure you can do this as well. And remember, that's not going to be your everyday, and it's a practice. So one day you are going to be just living in the moment, and another day you might have 10 to 15 minutes flashback to past memories, or just worrying about your future. And I've seen so many people, especially in their career aspect of life, they get so caught up in the future, how their future business is going to be, what are their future goals and plans, and they try so hard to live in the moment. And I feel that coming to me as I'm growing my business slowly and taking action towards my goals. So I really wanted to know your advice. What is your advice to balance living in the present moment and thinking about future or past? Let me know in the comments down below. So, the question that life asks us for people who experience another human being or art or nature, the answer is the same. The existence of someone you love makes your life meaningful. It might surprise you to know, even in suffering, our life has meaning, because how you react to limitations and how you fulfill human values in that limitation makes your life meaningful, and it is so valued. And a simple example is athletes. They create difficulties for themselves to grow through that limitation and difficulty, and that suffering that we're talking about is what our fate brings us. So for example, the limitation of the country or your family However, we can shape our fate. We can either change it, if possible, or accept it willingly. I don't know what was that. So, the author believes that complaining about our fate is meaningless. So, with that all said, every moment in life asks us a question, and there are so many answers you can give to that question. But there's only one meaningful answer and one meaningful option, which all of us are responsible to answer to that question. And that leads up to this phrase: being human is nothing rather than being conscious and being responsible. So accepting our fate is a little bit tricky. Sometimes there is an option of staying in our comfort zone and not changing your life and fate in some people's lives, that they think, okay, this is my fate. It's okay to be here and not move and grow out of this fate. But it's not. Sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zone to see that, hey, I'm actually happier here. And sometimes it's the opposite. You don't have to always step out of your comfort zone. And I think the thin line between understanding when is the good time to step out and when it's not a good time is to listen to your heart and your intuition. And this video from Sorelle is a great one to understand how to listen to your intuition. Sometimes our intuition tells us to go through a difficult experience and suffering because we want to grow. For example, if I ask you, do you want to erase and remove all of your sad memories from your love life? We sure all say no, because that was a part of the growing process and being in this situation of our love life. But if you ask the same question from someone who is in the middle of the suffering and the sad memory, their answer is going to be different. So to summarize, we talked about how human life is meaningful in these three ways: creating, experiencing love, art, or nature. And third, suffering, going through a limitation, adapting, and then reacting. And these suffering, just like the question of life, are different in every moment and for each person. But what is important is how you react to that limitation. Do you adapt? Do you grow out of it? Believe me, I know I was in suffering too, and all of us have been. It's normal because it is life. But the moment that I learned to let go, release, and then move forward and do whatever I could do in that situation, that was the moment that I felt right and good. So, my advice: listen to your intuition and trust yourself, the universe, whatever you want to call it, or don't even trust something out, which is not out. Trust yourself that it has your back. Ask yourself big questions and dare to answer them wholeheartedly. That way, you are going to live a life with no regrets. I might be young to talk like this, so if you're younger than me, then listen, and if you're older, you already know this, right? That's it for this video. I hope you are encouraged to read this amazing book, and if you enjoyed, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos just like this. Sending you lots of love and clarity.